At the follower goal. Wait it. Green here. The dead end. Appears to not really know how to. He appears to be stuck in a rock, in fact. Not sure how that one happened. Don't remember anything about this. There's there.
Katubiu. I do. A fine husband and 3 children. I miss them each day, but I take comfort in knowing they are safe.
Are they?
When we learned that Salt Upon Wounds had defiled Zion with his presence, Daniel ordered the children, the old, and the sick evacuated from the camp. My husband volunteered to lead the hunters that went with them for protection. I try not to worry about them, but we have had no news for so long, and Daniel seems sad when I ask him about it. Sad and a little frightened.
I could talk to him. Maybe he'll open up more to me.
Perhaps he will. I sometimes feel he thinks he must protect me. If he has news, I would know of it. Then I will look forward to our next speaking. I wish you could have met my family. You would like them, I think.
I thought you guys were afraid of going into the caves. Uh, Ow.
We pass like moonlight on still water. It is good to travel with another. I spend so long scouting on my own that I forget what human company is like.
This is where you get the Desert Ranger gear, legit. $20.96 February 11th. Fuckers killed all the men. Think they would have taken one alive, but Maria and Selena opened fire, and some of the others went for their guns and they shot them down, and some of the kids with them. Could have warned them. Lena and Carmen, 5 children still alive, being kept in a pen. More than 100 of these assholes in blue suits. Every suit says 22 on the back. Why? Teeth with submachine guns, pistol. Makes 60% male. One seems to follow the dark-haired guy, but can't get close enough to tell. Disciplined patrols, sentries, mean business. They go in at night and get the women and children out. Where to next? I have to get them out. Have to. Recon during night. Well approached sentries along most approaches. Stream not covered. Sick? Lots of coughing fit. This women and children still in pain or in pen. Try to infiltrate my stream tomorrow night. They ate them. Ambush along Riverside Trail. 6 males killed. Heard enough coughing a mile away. Used their grenades to booby-trap bodies. Kept half. Here's 6 SMGs. 500 rounds, 10 millimeters. Frags. Ambush along Riverside Trail. 2 males died. Checking bodies. Killed 2 more with a rifle. 1 shot through the calf. Let that crawl off. Red message. Coughed like I'd shot him through the lungs. Ambush half-mile east of Old Pitts Wash. 8 males killed. Ambush in the Narrows. 6 males killed. Took a 10 millimeter thigh. Steel jacket. Missed femoral. Lucky. Tourniquet to make sure no blood splattered on rocks. Back to cave. I've set traps all along the entrance passage, but it'll be a matter of time. Still, 24 confirmed kills in 10 days. At least a third of their combat force. Not bad for enough. Lucky, 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 lucky. Patrol was small. 3 men screaming woke me. Point man caught under deadfall. Panic fire ricocheted into cave. Almost hit me. Crawled forward to kill them. SMGs purely used frags. Stupid. Didn't remember ricochets. Sitting at once, no other patrols in the area, but they'll be searching arrows for these 3. Making as much food as I can drag with me and heading to cave south. A lot of shit happened in Zion after the bombs fell. Right up. Over here. Hello.
Hola, outsider. Welcome, child of omens. You come to receive visions of truth?
Ah.
Take drugs, kill a bear, seek medicine plant, return with sacred datura root, receive visions of truth, they guide you.
Okay, I guess I'll just go do that.
Return, maybe yes, return, maybe no, but go.
All right.
Zion, you
Daniel.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
Where do you need a map of Grand Staircase?
Grand Staircase is farther east, deeper into the Colorado Plateau. The Whitelegs were able to reach us here, but it's only because Zion is close to the Long 15. They can't pursue us east of here. It's too wild. Throughout our history, we have called many places Zion. This valley is full of God's beauty, but it's just a place. Zion is more than this. We cannot use any and all means available just to protect stone and water and a piece of sky. We have to hold on to our faith. Far more enduring. If we sacrifice grace for a piece of land, we may live in this valley, but we will no longer dwell in Zion. It's better for us to leave now. If you could part with it, healing powder would be welcome. We have enough Stimpaks for now, but we can't rely on that small supply. Brock and Xander plants can be found throughout the valley, and you might even find some on Whitelegs you come across. Ah, that's great news. We can use anything you can offer. Thanks. Even one dose can make a difference.
Cool.
I used to help the Sorrows with various medical problems and general issues they were having, but my bishop sent me here as a missionary. We New Canaanites believe that there is a path to salvation for everyone, and it's important that we set people on that path if they are willing. I'm trying to make amends for allowing our problem to become their problem. The New Canaanites, I mean. The Whitelegs have always fought with us. And with Joshua returning, Caesar has motivated the Whitelegs to stamp out the New Canaanites entirely. That means the tribes we work with, too. It's already happened. I just want to prevent something terrible from happening to the Sorrows.
Has this happened before? The Whitelegs attacking other tribes?
Yes. But not just Whitelegs. Raiders, too. Prospectors, slavers. Anyone who thinks they can exploit the ignorant and the innocent. We lost the Tar Walkers and the Crazy Horns. We did our best, but we made mistakes. We paid for them. But they paid more. I'd like to get out from under that debt someday. Until then, it's enough to stop ourselves from getting deeper in the hole. To remove the Sorrows from harm's way. I have to give credit to the Whitelegs for finding their way here. Though I imagine many died in the process. But they can't follow us east. Not into the Grand Staircase. They don't know how to live off the land. We head there, we can find some safety. Of course. There's an old saying that goes, if you want peace, get ready for war. You've got me figured half right. I'll shoot dead any white leg that tries to creep into this camp. But it's only to protect the Sorrows. The Lord helps those who help themselves. But the Sorrows don't know how. Joshua and I do. Since I got them into this mess, I need to get them out.
Great. Oh, that's...
There is an important difference between killing in defense and waging war. Even a Gentile like you should know that.
Joshua's a new Canaanite, and he's obviously willing to attack the White.
Joshua is a living Bible of all mankind's miseries of war. The debt he has levied through his actions, he repays every day. He is a monument both to God's unending forgiveness and to humanity's unfathomable capacity for cruelty. It's written on every inch of his body. When you look at him, do you only see a man of God? Beneath those bandages, he is burned flesh. As he burns, so does he consume everyone around him. Joshua wants to fight because the Whitelegs have stoked the naked flame inside of him. You see the light, but do not yet feel the heat. I can pray that you never will. But it isn't up to me, and it isn't up to God. It's up to Joshua. They're hateful savages who live only to plunder and destroy. Their leader is a devil called Salt Upon Wounds. War is all he knows. Everything he has, everything that tribe has, was taken by force, raiding, and scavenging. It's said there's no man deadlier at close range. That power fist of his has smashed 100 skulls. Maybe that's true, but so what? It's a low form of leadership. A tribe that knows only war has no future. And so he'll lead them to Caesar. Father in the... Oh, right. He's some spirit the Sorrows used to believe in. Watched over them from the caves in the valley. They marked some of the caves around here because they think they'll be punished for going inside. I think as more of them learn the teachings of the new Canaanites, they'll lose their old superstitions.
Yeah, but want to chat with them. They think their Lord and the Father are the same.
Oh? Oh. Of course. How stupid of me. They probably also think Mary is the mother and Jesus is the child. No wonder they picked up on things so easily. I guess it just goes to show how difficult it is to communicate sometimes. What do you want to know exactly? I'm sure she could tell you much better than I.
There's a difficult. Helped her through it.
Oh, well, that's true. Waking Cloud is a talented midwife. She certainly brought more children into the world than I have. But there are some problems she's never dealt with. One of them came up when she was having her third child, and I really didn't do much. I'm surprised she mentioned it. I did.
Okay, let's talk about something else then.
Her 3 children are safe. They made it north weeks ago and met up with new Canaanites heading east. Her husband didn't make it. He died protecting their children from a Whiteleg attack. Do not tell Waking Cloud. She's one of the only Sorrows who can communicate easily with us, and her tribe needs her to be strong right now.
Her husband, don't you think she has a right to know?
To everything, there is a season. Who are you or I to put this heavy burden on her now?
But the new Canaanite was supposed to help lead these people, not hide things from them.
I know, you're right. I shouldn't have hidden it from her in the first place. We can't fail here again. Zion can't become the next new Canaan. The Sorrows don't deserve that. They don't deserve any of this. Sometimes I look at them and wonder if they would have been better off if those old trails had stayed forgotten. If we had never found any of them. Tell Waking Cloud if you think that's best. I won't stop you. Until then.
To be a place of
Hey,
peace.
Waking Cloud, your husband's dead.
Katubiu. What? No. You must be mistaken. Daniel would have told me. How dare he? What gives him the right? I thought Daniel was my friend, but he cares nothing for the Sorrows. Perhaps. I will have to have a very long talk with Daniel when all of this is over. Thank you for telling me this truth.
You're welcome. Huh. No. Wake up. I need a quest.
You have root of sacred datura? These roots made sacred vision tea. You drink, you see path before you. Ready?
Yes.
Drink. Tea is strong. Tea is bitter. Wisdom is strong. Wisdom is bitter. You see? You go to cave. Find ghost of she. Lay ghost to rest. This your quest. Bring peace where was strife. Go.
Ah! I think I'm tripping. What? Yeah. Yeah.
I have seen many strange plants in the valley. Plants that seem to hunger for human flesh. Where they come from, I do not know.
I'm tripping balls right now, guys. Oh, hi,
By the
Joshua.
rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be, that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be, that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Do you know what it means?
Josh, I am high as fuck right now. Really can't run up to me and start spouting out Bible verses, goddammit. You don't want to leave Zion. You'd rather kill every last one of the White Legs.
Given those two choices, yes. In the best of all possible worlds, they would just leave us in peace. But they won't. I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it's just a chore, like any other. Practiced hands make for short work, and the good Lord knows there's much to be done here.
White Legs are human garbage.
They're still God's children. But if they turn against their brothers and sisters, won't listen to reason, if they pollute the Lord's temples on earth, like Zion, who are we to stand by and let them continue? Daniel does not yet see things the way we do. He is the John to our Matthew and Mark. When you have a moment, speak with him. There may still be time to save Zion from the White Legs, to keep God's children here, in this living temple. Welcome back. What can I do for you? He's a butcher. Believe me, I know the godless fire that burns in his heart. I've been burned by it myself. He's not the kind to let his subordinates do all the killing. No, he likes to have a hand in it, with that spear of his. He's fashioned himself an abomination before the eyes of the Lord. I'm happy to serve as an instrument of divine justice. It's not something I enjoy, but I pray to God that someone may learn from my mistakes. What would you like to know?
Are you in much pain? Is there anything I can do to help?
You are kind to offer, but no, there's nothing you can do. We don't use chems, but I learned long ago that I'm immune to their effects. It never stops burning. My skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable. It's not something... I try not to involve myself with matters of the Mojave anymore. All I know is from before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Better than Caesar, but that's not a high standard. Too much love of money and ownership. Not enough love of God and giving. Any society that derives its power and authority from the will of man alone lives apart from God and will crumble in the end. It's not... I was born in Ogden, what people came to call New Canaan. Things were more peaceful when I was growing up. When I was a young man, I went out into the world to do missionary work, as all New Canaanites do. I traveled along the Long 15 and followed 89 south into Arizona. Along the way, I met two men from a group called the Followers of the Apocalypse. Edward Sallow and Bill Calhoun. They came to teach the tribes. Calhoun was a good man. Edward was the one who got us into trouble down the road. No, not then. Back then he was just Edward. Smart man. Young, but we all were. We thought we could hike into the Grand Canyon and talk to Blackfoots. We did. And the Blackfoots were friendly enough at first. But eventually... I've thought back to that day so many times. I must have mistranslated. Something must have been mixed up, because the Blackfoots decided we weren't going to leave. The rest is history, assuming Edward hasn't changed it. This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training, punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall. And I stayed in that darkness until after Hoover Dam. After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me.
He did it. He said the
I fell
line.
down into that dark chasm. The flame burned on and on. The next morning, I woke up and crawled out of the northern edge of the Grand Canyon, that cursed place. It took me 3 months to reach New Canaan. It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. The fire that had kept me alive was love. Their love. God's love. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them, but I must try. I had heard of him, but when we were preparing to enter the Mojave, he didn't seem relevant to what was happening. From what I've learned since Hoover Dam, he handled the Mojave tribes in a fashion not entirely dissimilar from Caesar. It's too bad.
Guessing you don't like Caesar very much.
Love the sinner, hate the sin. With Caesar, it's often very difficult to see through all of that sin to the person inside. I can say that we were both lucky that NCR's supply lines and land routes north of Mojave Outpost were destroyed before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Something bad happened near Death Valley, at a place called the Divide. NCR couldn't cut across anymore, and it slowed down the reinforcements. Terrible storms ripped entire companies apart before they even got to Nevada soil. The aftermath of Hoover Dam could have been even worse for Caesar.
At the Divide.
I don't know for certain, and I don't think NCR knows either. Whatever happened at the Divide was too much for them to handle. Our Frumentari told us what they saw. Only fools and madmen would march into a place like that. All roads wind down to the same spot, the grave. They said all that's left there is a gaping wound cut into the earth, cursed and damned. No place for God-fearing folk. Not all of them, but they couldn't take 127 North to get around the mountains. As if Death Valley weren't enough, they had the Divide and Big Empty to deal with. From what the Legion's explorers reported, the Big Empty may as well have been a wall to any living thing approaching it. I thought he might. It's been some time since I've visited civilized places. I don't have fond memories of them. But I have always seen these places from the outside. I'd rather not influence him more than I already do. Why don't you talk to him?
I'm not me. I prefer the wilderness.
Then let him know. Followschalk needs more guidance in his life. I'd prefer it not come from me. If people want to look to me for how to fight, I will show them how. I believe God put me on this earth for that very reason. But to live like me, think like me, no. There are better people for them to look to for such things. God be with you.
I am always a little sad to leave the Narrows, and happy to return. spend so long scouting on my own that I forget what human company is like.
Hello, friend.
You leave. So, this is the ghost of She's lair. I was never brave enough to fight.
For real? Yeah, for real. Not responding.
Does Ghost of She like quiet and grave? Then visions of truth are at an end. Will you learn from truth? Maybe yes, maybe no. Only for you to decide. Here, take. Gift to remind you of visions. Use well, or sell to curious trader. Either way, says much about you.
I'm still tripping. Alright, now I'm coming down from the high. Let's go talk. Your follows Chalk. There he is.
Good job getting those supplies to Daniel. If you were a dead horse, you'd get a tattoo for that. Yeah? What did he say? He said that? Well, I guess you have been out there more recently than he has. So, what's your advice?
Stay here with your people.
I see. Well, thanks for your telling. I'd like a minute alone to think about this. Thank me.
Yao Guai. Even our strongest hunters could not hope to kill so many. There must be a nest nearby. I hope that is truth, and not a boast. But I will respect your leadership. Fighting so many at once is a dangerous prospect, unless you are a truly mighty warrior. This many so close together suggests a nest nearby. If we find it and destroy it, we might have better luck. Did Daniel not give you some of the new Canaanites' fire clay? That could easily collapse a cave and trap the beasts inside. Look around and see if you can find a cave nearby. It may prove easier than slaying the beasts. I stand with you.
I'm just gonna kill them all. They got meat.
This is Pine Creek, one of the only ways out of Zion Valley. Watch out. Many dangerous beasts lair nearby. No chance. Let's move on. I don't like to linger in this place.
Oh wow, there's really not perk-wise to them. that. What? They have melee weapons and melee weapons. Hmm. Immune to critical hits. Center a mess. So many options, I just don't know what to do with them all. Got plenty of Agua.
This is the only shore
Ah!
path from the Narrows to Pine Creek. They will be cut to ribbons by these traps. I would suspect you are right. Perhaps we should try to find them before they lay more traps. As you say. I have this under control. Here they are.
Anti-material rifle?
Messy business. I'll fight you with my mind. Messy business. I am glad it's over. I know you are eager to leave Zion, but perhaps you might find peace if you stayed. Think about it. Yes?
Ah. experience, and it's not even really get me much closer to a level. Holy crap. Loaded up prints. Another survivalist cat. You okay there, Waking Cloud? Ooh, these logs are just before or just after. Combat goes on. Prickly pear to list survivors. Banana yucca. Patient. Never take more than a fifth. Off waters at a time, I bet. Isn't from a can. Stinking flies, fallen trees. All the napper. Flashes in the clouds, some dragonflies. Taps them midair, then scoops them up. Some you. Bighorn sheep, family, ram, you, and a little one. God damn it. Sheep were different. Brawny. You had curved horns just like the ram. Tiny lizards, but this is the first time animals that big. Fingers crossed. 5-10 years breeding. Fresh meat, hides, horns. I know it's time to go back, Char, when winter has passed. Just got back, tired. Good scrounging along the way. Ended up dragging back a cart of stuff. Right tomorrow. Started April 10th. Walked to SLC. Took 15 days. Would have been 7-9 back in the old days. Had to circle pockets of radiation and forged along the way. Don't know what I was thinking. Imagine I'd find my house, dig through rubble, find something. Your bones, I'd hope. Lots buried them. Here in Zion, maybe. Salt Lake City is mostly craters. Warped steel girders. High-rises sat. Mountains of bricks. Never found our house. Didn't even find the street. What wasn't a crater was scorched clean. I want to believe it was fast. Flash, both of you vaporized. Ice to make me feel better. Which part of the city got hit first? Northeast. Both died in a blink. Farther away, and burned alive, screaming or broken glass and bits of brick and wood splinters shredding you like hamburger. Look at it, coward, and listen. Don't turn away, face it. Been brave, lucky man, you would have found a spot and blown your brains out, but not you. You took your time walking back, made a stopping trip of it. Found her. Truck was still there on the 77 north of Spanish Fork. The priceless too, but no sign of the couple's bones. Inside Nephi, I caught a trail. 3 men. Tracks heading towards Fountain Green. Thought about following, but didn't. Fantasy of friend. Took 2 days to build door and electrify. No soliciting assholes. Home sweet fucking home. Count 28 of them. 11 males, 8 females, 9 children aged 2 to 10. Some rifles, some pistols, and bad repair. Old world clothes. Ratty. Got close enough last night to hear them. Hear them talk. Spanish, I think. You say Paradiso a bunch. Paradise. Here to stay then. Seem. What I call Maria is pregnant. Father is Jose, but she's Pablo. Pedro ran out to pee in the stream and would have seen me if he looked to his left. Too close. Need to give him space. Jose broke his leg chasing the bighorn. Too far from camp. Here, myself to be, but couldn't. Guards from the camp did my best. Jose's screaming imitation until a bunch of them came looking. Strung them along to the crest where they could hear the real Jose. Probably useless. Compound fracture, broke the skin. Infection. So many goddamn words, nearly the same. I'd be fluent. Anyway, Jose's leg got it so that he knew he's gonna die. Nature for you. Of course, they're giving a prayer to try. Left a bottle of antibiotics on a rock outside their camp last week. Thanked God, of course. Though that asshole saw fit to burn the world, but still cared enough to leave medicine on a rock. They will limp, but otherwise he'll be okay. Good deed for the month. Will they make it through the winter? Hey, random GG. I would say this game requires brain power as much it just requires a lot of reading. Ow! I already... Put my actual helmet back on. Duh. Reload, reload, reload. Oh, well, you jackasses leave us alone. Come on. Stop strafing. Lizard, why wouldn't you help us? They were right there. We're still hostile to them.
Seen many strange plants in the valley. Plants that seem to hunger for human flesh. Where they come from, I do not know. The river's lovely at this time of day, don't you think? Those tents down there, that is a White Leg war camp. Do you see the war totems they've erected around the tents? White Leg warriors pray to them for strength and savagery before battle. This is no raiding band.
said how to deal with the situation.
You might rush them and take them by surprise. We would be badly outnumbered then, though, and these will be strong fighters. We might also use their superstition against them. White-leg warriors believe that to lose their totems on the eve of battle is a terrible omen. Yes, if their war totems were to disappear, they would likely lose the will to fight.
Get down there and take care of
I will follow
business.
your command, but I advise caution if it is possible.
Snake. This is a sneaking mission.
You leave me no choice.
What do you do?
I'll fight
What
you if
what
I
what do you you're you're literally the one that suggested I
need...
what are you doing? Waking Cloud? You're the one that told me to be sneaky.
Let's move on. I don't like to linger in this place.
I didn't. All right, let's bump up the jam there. Thought it was higher than it was. Armed. Strike. 4.
Zion used to be a place of peace, you know.
And stim
Daniel
packs, huh?
says that it is holy in the eyes of the Father. I hope someday you will see it as it was.
Ooh, that's a crashed airplane. Never knew about that. I think I'm close to. Right over here. Huh? What? Locales confused. It's near one of the archways. Which one? I thought it was one. Here by here. What? 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 Wait, what? When? What? When did? How did? Where did? What? All right. I swear. Somewhere over here. I was right. It's right here. This is the survivalist from the terminals. Probably eventually gonna find the
Daniel
log.
says that most
Shut up,
people
Waking
outside
Cloud.
the valley
We're
do
probably
not
gonna
keep
find the
to
log
Father's
stating it,
voice.
but this is where he
Perhaps when you leave, you will carry his word with you.
came here to die. He was dying of cancer. This is him. Fact. Unique rifle. That was logs. January 2nd. Been leaving notes for them and gifts. They liked the books. Started with stories, but moved on to weapons manuals, medical books, practical stuff. The notes, well, it's embarrassing, almost like those cards people used to give each other. Everything's sweet and loving. I tell them to read and learn, make the most of their new home. I tell them I'm giving them Zion as a gift to make up for all the sorrows of their lives so far, and all the sorrows man has visited on man. I tell them to be kind to each other and modest. I tell them never to hurt each other, but that if someone else comes along to try and hurt them, strike back with righteous anger. Stuff like that. I sign every note, the Father, because, well, just because. Have I mentioned that I'm dying? Mine's still sharp. Lungs are the problem. Might be cancer. Cough's been getting worse for months. Finally, there's blood. Getting harder to visit my little friends. Breath so short. I've given away most of what I own. They'll find the rest in the caves when they get a little older. I don't want them to find me, though. The Father is a broke-down old man. Disappointment. Time. I don't want another birthday. Cold enough that I won't last long on the high mound up next to Red Gate. I think I've got just enough breath in me to make it. I'll just lie down and stare at the sky. Feels right. I hope they'll do well. I hope no harm comes to them from within or without. Did my best to prepare them. Last few notes. Said something kind about said something kind about each one of them. What makes them special. Told them the Father was pleased by their kind natures, that if it would be up to them to handle things on their own from now. That he'd be silent, but still watching and still caring. Lying then. Oh yes. Lied to you, Shar, and Alex, and Sylvie. Told you I'd be with you forever. But I wouldn't go back and unsay it once if I could. What was the point of it all? So many failed. But I never forgot your face. Poor little nuts. Or, sorry, Sylvies. They used to say what happened while... They used to say that happened after a while, but it never did for me. Maybe the only point of all this living was to keep those pictures in my head, going for as long as I could. The only life I could give you. Not a day went by without. Wasn't choice. I chose to die again and again, just never did. Body has its own drive. Well, the little ones will need it. Species will need it. Will need it if it's to continue. That blind drive onward. I wish them well. It's been a gift to me, at the end of it all, to behold innocence. Goodbye, Zion. Randall Dean Clark. 2053 to 2124. This is the dad of your tribe. Are you happy? He's right there. He's why you're called the Sorrow. He's the guy, he's the father in the cave. He's your god. He's dead. Ah, Jesus Christ. Really hotkey stim packs. Ah. Now what? Dead horses, help! Get him! Big eye, big eye. God damn it. Target the head. Target the head. The head. The head. The head. The head. Please, the head. The head. It will not let me target the head. Alright. Oh, god damn it.
I'll fight you if I must.
Oh, it's a baby Cazador. Die!
Father, I ask that you guide this man who is the vessel of your will. Show him the light of your wisdom and the peace of your love. Amen.
This thing's the size of a goddamn car!
This This one is mine.
Oh, shit. Good job.
I'll fight you if I must.
Talking like a goddamn, like, horror movie monster. Jesus! What happens when you fuck with the ranger with a big iron on his hip? Huh. So this I forgot just how small Zion is. The grand scheme of things.
We should not be here. This place, it belongs to the Father in the caves. We must not profane it with our touch. The Father in the caves. The Holy Father who gave the Saros his succor and gave the new Canaanites his son. Many of the caves around the valley are sacred to him, and those who would trespass are punished by holy wrath. I understand. I would prefer to leave as soon as possible, though.
Oh. Huh. $21.08. 10 sets of tracks, half-mile north of Canyon and barefoot? Follow them through the dope. Corpses. Not crazy. They're real. God damn it, they are real. Rushed me the moment they saw me, snarling like it. They look like corpses, but don't smell rotted. Putting them out of their misery, doing for them what I never could for myself. Third, last of them. Gone. The survivalist is why there are no feral ghouls in Zion National Park. Birthday to me. Birthday to me. Birthday, you old dinosaur. Happy birthday to me. Happy 60th. What do you get a man who has everything? Bottle of whiskey. 12-gauge slug through the roof of the mouth. Woo! Come now, what do I have to do to prove to myself that I've lived long enough? I'm a shriveled old man, white beard, seen enough sunrises and sunsets. Saw the big sunset hanging on through the long night 36 years. Ridiculous. Not kidding myself anything. The other side of this. Things weren't so bad before I was born. Star and Alex, Sylvie and Michael who could have been. Thoughts of the beloved dead before dying. Goodbye, Zion. Fucking didn't do it. Coward as usual. Maybe 2 bottles next year. 24 of them. Half boys, half girls. Youngest is 8 maybe. This 14. 30 and scrum. Been on foot a long time. Children's. Struck camp on nearly the same spot as Los Mexicanos, 30 years and a lifetime. Spent 2 nights listening to English, literate. One of them reads stories while the little ones fall asleep. Escaped someplace they call the school. Can't figure out where it was. When they want a little one to behave, they tell him to stop or the principal will get you. Principal better not show up or I'll blow his goddamned head off. I can still shoot straight. Randall Dean Clark, a good man. A tragic man, but a good man.
peace, you know. Daniel says that it is holy in the eyes of the Father. I hope someday you will see it as it was.
Oh, hi.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution. I'll tell you again. There's more at stake.
No going back. Whether you decide whether the Sorrows should fight or flee, your decision will set their destiny irrevocably in motion. You'll be unable to finish any remaining quests in Zion once you make your decision, so choose wisely. A lot of experience. I think Joshua's right. We should fight the Whitelegs.
No. Why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying.
This is the way the world is. They're part of it whether you like it or not.
No. This is how we made it. And we brought it to them. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others.
Thank you for this. I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into Three Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs' leader, Salt Upon Wounds, and prevent him from fleeing. Show no quarter to the Whitelegs we come across. Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination.
Let's do it.
God be with you.
Joshua Graham has given you the Way of the New Canaanite perk. While Joshua is in your party, any .45 caliber auto pistol you use has less spread and is twice as likely to score critical hits. Gotcha. What? Cool. I going the wrong way. Have been for quite some time.
Can't stay hidden forever.
Yeah. That is a straight up anti-material rifle. I gotta get me one. Oh no, the lever thing is busted. My gun! It's broken! There we are. Here where it all began.
The time for talk has passed. The Lord's work must be done.
Uh... Ah!
This is taking too long. We can't let Salt Upon Wounds escape. I'm going to find a way around. God willing, we will finish this together.
Ow. Ow. Let's go, pal. Sword fight. Looks like I win. Good job, guys. Oh!
We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted. You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out. And like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice. Kale wachane conserva ol. You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all White Legs. You talk. You stop.
This isn't what I signed up for. Let me talk to Joshua about this.
Him hear you. You talk.
Don't listen to this thing. His cries are those of a mad beast caught in a thicket. He gave no mercy to my family, and I will give none to his.
Joshua, you've already won. Look around you. There's no need to kill him.
He has a debt to pay for what he's done, and I've come to collect. And so he's chosen to cower in the water like a dumb animal.
If what you believe is true, he'll pay for it later. The Sorrows don't need to see you do this.
I want to take from them what they took from me, from my family. In this life, I want them to suffer. I want all of them to die in fear and pain. I want to have my revenge against him, against Caesar. I want to call it my own, to make my anger God's anger, to justify the things I've done. Sometimes I tell myself that these wildfires never stop burning, but I'm the one who starts them, not God, not them. I can always see it in my mind, the warmth and the heat. It will always be a part of me. But not today. Go. Get out of here. Go back. Back to the Great Salt Lake. That's it. It's finished. Thank you for staying with me. I couldn't have done this on my own. Let's go find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon. And there is much to do.
Really? I got 2 level ups?
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Demoralized by the Dead Horse and Sorrow's attack the courier and Joshua Graham led against them, the Whitelegs retreated to Great Salt Lake. Their days were numbered. Word soon reached the 80s tribe that the Whitelegs' spirit was broken. Their war chief a dim shadow of his former self. By year's end, the 80s would overrun the Whitelegs camps, scattering the tribe to the winds and claiming the Great Salt Lake for its own.
The Sorrows fought beside Joshua Graham and the Dead Horses, eradicating the threat the Whitelegs posed to Zion. Seeing the courier convince Joshua Graham to spare Salt upon Wounds, the Sorrows learned that retribution could be tempered by mercy. Though he despaired at the Sorrows' loss of innocence, Daniel took some small consolation in the courier's lesson, and prayed it would take root.
Having helped eradicate the Whitelegs from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to Dead Horse Point in triumph. They remained neutral toward the Sorrows, but as years went on, there were periods of competitive friction, even violence between the tribes. The New Canaanites, Daniel especially, intervened regularly as mediators, but found it difficult to reconcile the tribe's conflicts.
The defeat of the Whitelegs in Zion marked a turning point in the fortunes of the Happy Trails Caravan Company. Every 2 months, the caravan met with the New Canaanites in Zion Valley to trade. Happy Trails soon returned to prosperity. The vigilance of the Sorrows and Dead Horses in defending southwestern Utah, initially startling to Happy Trails caravans, soon proved a blessing. The tribes united against the 80s, driving them back from Highway 50, and thus opening yet another trading route for Happy Trails caravans.
Follows Chalk took the courier's words to heart and decided the big cities of the Mojave Wasteland and NCR were best left unexplored. Though he sometimes dreamed of distant lands, he continued to support his family at Dead Horse Point, and eventually, his wanderlust faded.
Waking Cloud was distraught when she learned of her husband's death, but took comfort from her tribe and the compassion of the New Canaanites. She forgave Daniel for having concealed her husband's fate from her, and learned to accept his fate. When her grief faded, she took a husband from the Dead Horse tribe. At her bidding, he stayed close to home.
The threat of the Whitelegs ended. Joshua Graham helped the Sorrows and Dead Horses tend to their fallen comrades and secure Zion. The courier's words had stayed Joshua's wrath in his darkest hour, and in sparing salt upon wounds, he was changed. While he continued to advocate militant opposition to the enemies of New Canaan, he sometimes showed quarter to those who crossed his family. Eventually, this new spirit would diminish the myth of the burned man in distant lands. A small price for the peace it brought to Joshua Graham.
For years after the defeat of the Whitelegs, Daniel did his best to minister to the Sorrows' spiritual needs. Try as he might, he could not hold back the tribe's increasing militancy and reverence of Joshua Graham. Demoralized, he returned to his family in Dead Horse Point. His failures haunted him for the rest of his days.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
And that was it. The abrupt ending. But I think this is actually a pretty damn good DLC, all things. Like, it feels a little bit rushed in certain points, but I think the writing, like the character writing specifically, is what helps carry this. Like, between, like, the few companions you get, and especially with Joshua Graham, like, it's got a solid character writing. Unfortunately, I think after doing the main quest, like, all the actual friendly NPCs, like, are despawned from the valley no matter what. Like in the Daniel ending, it makes sense because you're, like, evacuating the entire park. So it makes sense that there's no one left behind. But even in the Joshua ending, where you destroy the Whitelegs, they unfortunately also despawn in that case, which is a little disappointing. I would have loved to have been able to, like, go through and talk to Joshua and Daniel again, like, in the aftermath, to see how things are going. But this is a solid little bit of DLC. I don't think it's the best DLC in New Vegas, but definitely a hell of a lot better than Dead Money, at least in terms of, like, gameplay. Not that Dead Money is abysmal. It's just got a few, like, gameplay decisions. And I really like Honest Hearts. And our reward is a bunch of unique gear and scripture. Salt Upon Moon's helmet and his power fist. Daniel's outfit, Chalk's headdress, and, most importantly, a light shining in darkness. Probably one of the best handguns in the game. And one of the best guns, period. And we'll be replacing our shitty auto pistol. Kind of see it on, like, the sleeve of the gun there. It's a Bible verse written in Greek. Awesome. That's it. Go through again. The one major improvement over Dead Money as well is that you can go back to Zion and just explore all the things you might have missed doing the main stuff. gonna give myself another. I need a decent energy weapon for what we are going to be doing next. You know what? How about I give myself a weapon I can't get anymore? Because I have Wild Wasteland. Doesn't spawn if you have that. ICS 186. A unique Gauss rifle. How different it looks compared to the regular. Such a kind of dinky looking gun. Not exactly the Ranger Sequoia here. But this thing packs a fucking punch and a half. This is like, bar none, the best, like, semi-automatic handgun in the game. But we're finally back in the Mojave after our little trip. Speaking of which, thank you for volunteering. Boom! I kind of want to see what this gun can do. Hold still, hold still. Does he use 4 shots a thing? It does! Oof. That's a lot of ammo, but the best energy weapon, Bart. Absolutely. That one for a while, so I'll try to get that. I think I decided that next, the DLC, I'll be doing the Old World Blues. Figure out. I'll plant myself over there, make a save. For the moment, I am done for the evening. There. Oh. All right. This is it for me for tonight. I will be back tomorrow morning. Not even tomorrow morning, tomorrow like afternoonish. I haven't quite decided yet. Bye, Random. Good having you around. Thanks for watching. Means a lot to me.